Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Friday Gear Show, and welcome Robbie Philips, and welcome to Ratho, this enormous climbing wall, which this is almost your second home in a way, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is my second home. The amount of time I spent here, I could have learned several languages for sure.
We're doing videos on this wall over the next couple of weeks, so the full gym tour is coming very soon. But today we're here in the Gear Show to talk about Scarpa shoes. And you, just before the camera turned on, said you're a bit of a climbing shoe fanboy, fanatic, and a Scarpa athlete. So obviously we're going to be focusing on them today.
I've got a total fetish for climbing shoes, and Scarpa as a brand, I mean, I think they're the best climbing shoes going.
What I asked you to do, because I know you've got a van full of shoes, is to pick 3 that you use for different disciplines. Yeah. You're a boulderer, you're a big wall climber, you sport climb, you do everything, so you must need a lot of shoes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the different disciplines that you do, which can dictate which climbing shoes you wear, but also it's like the hold types, the rock type, and I think that's a big thing about climbing shoes. And when you're choosing your climbing shoe, you know what you want it to do, really.
So where are we going to start? So we've got 3 models in front of us.
I mean, we could start off over here with the V SRs, the part of the Instinct family of climbing shoes. Instinct, the oranges, which are a stiffer shoe, they use the stiffer edge rubber. The blues, the VSRs, use the softer Grip 2 rubber. And the reason I like it is because it's so versatile. I mean, you get the stiffness of the midsole coming through to stand on small edges, but the Grip 2 rubber is like super soft, super malleable. You can smear. You know, I've used these all summer in the Alps. I used them Malham Cove in Yorkshire. I've climbed 8C plus in these guys, 8B plus multi-pitch. The heel's phenomenal. You know, I really can't say anything bad about these shoes. I love them.
See, when I think of the VSR, or I think when a lot of people think of it, they see bouldering shoe. And I think when I first got my pair, I expected it to be almost like a Furia, so super soft, very supple. It actually comes out of the box quite stiff and then breaks down. But you use it, as you just said, for sport climbing. So it can be used for multiple purposes.
Well, honestly, I hate to say that shoes are like a single discipline shoe. I don't ever think of them like that. I think of a shoe, a climbing shoe, as something that a certain type of foothold that you're going to stand on, whether it's a smear, an edge, if it's on granite or sandstone or limestone. I've used these on pretty much every rock type you can think of, but I'd say for me personally, they perform the best on limestone and granite when you want to smear and edge particularly well. But at the same time, I've got friends who use these in climbing competitions, you know.
And what's your street shoe size, and what size do you wear for these models?
That's actually really interesting, because I'm a 42 and in street shoe, and I'm a 41 and a half in climbing shoe. I can force myself into a 41 again, and my feet will break into it and it'll be fine. But for me, I think like you want a shoe to be comfortable, you want it to fit well, and for me 41 and a half works. I think comfort is the main focus for me.
No, absolutely, especially on those long big pitches. Exactly, yeah. So Dragos now, Drago, I never know how to pronounce it.
I think it's called the Drago. They're much softer than the Instinct VSR. They use the same rubber compound on the sole here, the Grip 2, but they've got the midsole is a lot more flexible, a lot more malleable. They also use this really this different compound on the toe here, the M50 rubber, which is softer yet again and creates like unparalleled toe hooking ability. I swear to you, honestly, the toe hooking that the Drago can do is insane.
I call it like the Wodge effect. I don't want to be precise with my toes. I just want a big patch where I can stick it in a hole without looking and somehow stay there and just be like, whoa, how's that happening?
I have actually done a lot of like hard compression style problems where I'm like toe hooking, and I haven't been able to do them in the VSRs. And with the Dragos, it's been like an easy problem to do, you know, like you just throw your toe up there and they stick. I think they perform amazing on sandstone. So in Rocklands last year, I had them. They were pretty much my main choice, mixed with the Instinct VSR, and Northumberland sandstone, which is south of Edinburgh, 1.5 hours. Like that's where I'm using the Dragos predominantly.
So possibly a font shoe as well.
Also a font shoe, 100%, definitely a font shoe. Yeah.
What's the orange that runs through the midsole section? Does that just keep it all together?
Yeah, it's like a tensioning system basically, just to keep it a bit more tensioned through the arch of the foot there.
Presumably you scale down a bit in size because it's kind of more of like an overhanging shoe, or do you keep it pretty much the same for all of them?
I keep it pretty much the same, you know, 41 and a half all the way through. Straight out of the box, I can fit my foot into them.
Whenever we talk about shoes, it is always worth remembering that everyone's feet are different, so just because they work for you, people should sort of try them on before presuming something.
And that's something else to talk about as well, is the fit. and the feel of the shoe. I always say that fit is different to feel. Quite often when people have been climbing in one shoe for a very long time, they're very used to the feel of that shoe. They try on a new shoe at a demo or in a shop, and they think this feels really different, and therefore it doesn't fit my foot. But in actual fact, it's just a feel, and that sometimes you've just got to learn how to climb in them, which is why the demos are so good. I often say, just take the shoes away for an hour and a half, climbing them, like get a feel for them, and you'll learn to like them, because every shoe is different, it has different characteristics, and you have to learn to climb in different shoes.
So moving on to the last shoe in this selection, and the only lace-up model. So what is it and what do you use it for?
So this is the Maestro, and this is one shoe that I'm particularly fond of. Now it is designed as an all-day performance, multi-pitch, big wall shoe. The thing that's really amazing with this shoe is it actually, aside from edging really good on like little edges when you're like on granite or on limestone, it actually smears phenomenally well too. And it's because like the actual bend in the sole here, you can actually get a good smear on. When you get this resoled in a grip 2, which is another thing I'm going to talk about.
When you're saying grip, we're talking about Vibram rubber.
Vibram rubber, yeah. So what I tend to do is I tend to have this shoe for the life of the sole here, and as soon as it starts getting to the point where I would consider getting a resole, I get it resoled in the softer grip 2 rubber, which is what the Dragos and the VSRs are on.
With resoling, there's two things I wanted to ask you. One is, where do you do it? And the second thing is, when do you do it? Because I've read different things. Do you wait until it goes through the rand, or do you wait till it's getting there? Like, where's that point where you're like, right, now's resole time?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, definitely, without a doubt, you want to get them resoled before they go through the toe. Yeah, really, you definitely want to get them done before that. Because as soon as they go through, then it becomes more difficult for the whole process, and it's unlikely that the rubber's going to stick so well. As for getting them resoled, there are obviously a lot of places that do resoling, but Scarpa themselves are pushing their own resole service. And in every country around Europe, they're going to offer that. They send them directly back to the factory in Italy, and you get, the guys who are specialists who've been doing it for 50 odd years, gonna resole it themselves.
But in Ratho, there's walls with lots of different sort of angles, especially the old comp wall. So something like that, I would imagine that you can do the overhanging section. It's got a bit of support for your feet, but as you said, suddenly smearing comes in, and you can adapt to that wall.
Yeah, totally. And they're not I'm not going to say that they're the best shoe for overhangs. That's not what they're good for. But for the vertical, for the slightly overhanging, for the edging and the smearing, they're great. And as I said, if you get them resoled in the grip 2, they get another life in them. And I think maybe 3 resoles in a pair of Maestros is like a good lifespan for the shoe. So it's you can save a bit of money. You don't have to buy a shoe, and you're also saving the environment at the same time.
Nice. Well, okay, I'm going to push you for the final question. You're on a desert island on the most amazing crags you've ever seen in your life. Which Scarpa shoe would you take? If you had to take an all-rounder that does everything that's your favourite, which one are you going to pick?
I would grab the VSRs if I had an unlimited supply of them, because they can do everything. I can train on them, I can take them on a big wall, multi-pitch, sport climbing, bouldering, and any rock type, they'll perform. So they will be my shoe of choice.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for watching. Links to the stuff we've been talking about today is in the description below, including links to Ratho, because this place is pretty mega. Yeah. So cheers, Robbie. Thank you. Thank you for doing all your boot demos and your work with Scarpa. Sure. And I'll see you guys. No, thank you. See you guys soon.